Let's see if this can hold up. Oh God, I sound hot and sexy. Hey, big fella. Here we go.
Well, I don't know what this thing is. I think it's a strip show, dance show.
Work there, dude.
Welcome to
DeaconLive.
DeaconLive.
Welcome back, guys. On today's show, are you okay, Nicole? And also, guests are getting a handful at this new art exhibit. And is yellow the new privilege thing? Also, a man was disqualified during a marathon for the strangest reason. All this and much, much more we discuss here on DeaconLive. How are you? How are things? How are things going? Are you doing all right? If you all this and much, much more. Welcome to DeaconLive, and for the next 60 minutes or so, we'll get you up to date on the social news stories that you might have missed over the past 7 days. Now, if you can just bear with me, you can hear my voice is very sultry, very low. Everybody in the house is sick. And don't forget, for every podcast we do, we have a matching video as well. And make sure you like us over on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe over there, DeaconLive Podcast. You can see me here in the studio suffering a little bit here. So let's see how the show goes. In perpetuity, I guess this is the word I'm trying to say. I don't know. I make shit up all the time. But you ask, Deacon, how did you get this way? Well, as I told you last week, we just got back from New York City. Well, not New York, Long Island. We went up there to visit our friends and family, mostly her family, my wife's family. And there was one lady, Aunt Barbara. She's like, I want to see everyone, but I'm sick. And we're like going, no. We don't want you over here. We don't want you infecting the household. We don't want you doing anything. But I want to see Amy. I want to see Travis. That's me, by the way. And no, because we don't want to bring any kind of sickness home to my dad, especially if you got, the COVID-19 or whatever the COVID strain is that's now. No, we don't want to. We'll drive by your house and wave at you. So the whole entire trip was fine. We were out there for 5 days, and the flight home was on a Monday. And as soon as we got home the next day, actually on Thursday, given, a 3-day incubation period, my wife was like, oh, I feel like shit. I'm not feeling good. I'm getting achy and stuff. And my dad happened to have, I don't know if we talked about this before, but my dad, when he first moved in, and he's been here for 2 years next month, he brought in COVID tests, and I was freaking out. I'm like, why are you bringing COVID tests in? Are you worried about getting COVID and bringing it into the household? Well, each to his may, and what happened was my wife said, well, let me have one of those COVID tests. I'm like, well, they're expired. It says April 2023 they expired. And then I go to the website. No, they're good for 22 months afterwards. All right, then don't put an expiration date on it. Put, plus 22 or something on the expiration date. So the test that she took was just inside the nose, like 5 times around this side, 5 times around this side. It's the lollipop thing where you put 5 drops in one hole and you stick the thing in through one hole. It sounds really disturbing, doesn't it? And you swirl it around, and then you close the thing and you let it sit there for 15 minutes. And there's a blue line and a yellow line that tells you if you've got COVID or not, whether it's faint or not. Sure enough, as soon as she put that thing in there, bing, it lit up. She's like, I got COVID. I'm like, how did you get COVID? Hear me out here. How did you get COVID when you've had the booster, or you have had the regular shot, right? The regular shot that you were supposed to get to eliminate all COVID. And then you get the booster shot, which is supposedly helps the original shot not give you COVID. How did you get COVID? She's like, I had to be on the flight coming back from Long Island. And I said, well, LaGuardia, actually. And she's like, you were going through the same things and stuff that we didn't really separate during the whole time. How come I have COVID and you don't? I said, well, I don't want to say her, but she'll listen to the podcast and she can hear my stories now, that I did not get the shot. Now, I don't know if I remember telling you guys a few months back, I was laid up in bed for 48 hours with a horrible fever, and it snapped, and boom, I was fine. I was up running around, doing everything. But I had 102 fever. I think it hit 103 one time and then went down, but it was only 48 hours and I was good to go. So my wife now has COVID. She's like, you need to take the test. And I'm thinking to myself, do I need to take the test and have 2 of us out in this house? Plus now, the whole entire time we were in Long Island, we said, no, we don't want to go see sicky Aunt Barbara because we don't want to bring this home to my dad. Now we're home and she's got it from airplane ride or whatever in the airport. Who knows? Spirit Airlines, they're not the highest class of people on there. So they'll ride on there if they have pneumonia or whatever. And so we get home and I didn't want to tell her this, but my body was feeling achy too. But like I said, I don't want to have two of us in the house kind of, back and forth and being totally out. Nothing will get done here on the household. No one will feed the animals. No one will do any of that stuff. But I did keep my distance from my dad. I kind of stayed away from him, in the background. I was like, oh, Dad's in the kitchen. I won't go in the kitchen just out of, just in case. Now, I have been sleeping in the spare bedroom, which is not next to him. It's across the hallway. But, I don't touch anything that he touches. He doesn't touch anything that I really touch. But now, last night, I've been having this horrible cough. I don't have a fever. And this morning, my dad, as I'm leaving my bedroom, he's across the hall and he goes, hey, do you mind going out and doing the stuff that I normally do in the morning? Which he goes out and lets the chickens out of the coop and does all that stuff and collects eggs and feeds the barn cats. And I said, yes, Dad. I said, are you feeling all right? He's like, no, I feel like shit. I'm like, all right. So I walk into my wife's bedroom, our bedroom, but at the time she's taken ownership of it. And I said, babe, my dad's not doing good. I said, he's really sick too. And he's got some medicine, Corvacevitz or something. I don't know what it is, but he's got that. I said, do you want some Theraflu? And he kind of chuckles. He's like, fucking Theraflu. That's for pussies. But my dad's got the shots too. He's got like 15 shots and the boosters to match. So I guess I don't know what the difference is, but I'm having a little bit of a sore throat, a little bit of, you can hear it. I'm a little raspy. I remember a long time ago, I was working at Home Depot and I was this way and I was working there and one of the people I was working with, female lady, older lady, she said to me, she's like, wow, you sound kind of sexy. I said, really? She's like, yeah, that deep, rich, low baritone voice. And you could, read a novel and I would, or a manual or instructions on something and I would swoon. And I'm like, all right, lady, calm down. So if I'm making you swoon, I'd love to hear from you. And the way you do that is to be part of the show. Go over to Prophet Radio, proud sponsors of Deacon Live. That's PROPHET radio.com. At the bottom of the page says Be Heard. Click on that. I'd like to hear what you think I sound like, or if you have gone through this situation as well. I don't have any shots as far as like the flu and stuff. My wife has the shots and boosters. My dad has the shot and boosters, and they're in the worst case scenario. Me, not so much. But that's just kind of the life I've always led, is I don't really get sick. And if I do, it only knocks me out for a day or two. All right, guys, stick around when we come back. This just in, a new update over at Comedy Central. This just came in right before I did the show, so I figured you guys might want to listen to it and figure out what that is. All right, so stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. You want something for free? Well, we'll give you something for free. We're not going to give you a cold or anything like that, believe me. But if you'd like something for free, go over to prophetradio.com, PROPHET radio.com. And at the bottom of at the top of the page says free swag. Fill that out. We'll send you out a sticker pack of whatever podcast that is broadcasted out of the Prophet Radio studio. There's a lot of fine programming over there. So by all means, pick out what you like and make sure you check those out as well while you're over at prophetradio.com. And we'd love to hear from you. You can be part of the show. You can be podcast famous right along here in the studio with us at the Be Heard section at the bottom of the page. You can be anonymous if you want. Just say, type in whatever and whatever your name is and speak right into the microphone, whatever device that you have, some kind of recording device on, and you can be right here in the show. And we'll play it on the very next podcast as well. I know, bear with me. I've got a couple of these guys that are kind of numbing the throat here. If you're watching this on the YouTube video, I had a couple of these numbing the throat. So if you hear me clear my throat a couple times, please bear with me as we get through this show together. Every podcast that we do, we have a matching video over there on YouTube, and I've said that a million times, but I want you guys to actually take me up on this offer here. If you're not watching this over on YouTube right now, check this out. Now's a great time to go see this video, and this is from the artistic gymnastics, and I'm not sure where this is at, but this girl, Nicole, is getting ready to do, what is it, where you run, jump on the spring, and then you hit the pommel horse and then do a flip and then land, and you put your arms up and everyone's yay. So the unthinkable happened right here, just as the girl, Nicole, goes to the, when she hits the springboard. So if you want to watch this in real time, let me switch to camera 4 so we can all see it in real time and talk about it here on the air. So here we go. Here goes Nicole. You ready? Oh, let me turn this on so you can hear it. Here we go.
Come on, Nicole.
Come on, Nicole.
Oh, are you kidding me right now? Nicole, you okay?
So let me explain what happened. So Nicole's running down the trackway there, the landing strip. And as soon as she goes to do the frontward tumble to hit the springboard, the power goes out. And you can hear, I don't know if she did it out of, muscle memory and landed, but the power goes out. And I'll play this one more time. So here she goes.
Come on, Nicole.
Come on, Nicole. Let's go.
Nicole.
Power.
Oh, are you kidding me right now? Nicole, you okay?
Nicole, are you okay?
Come on, Nicole.
So there you go. Yeah. So I don't know what the end result was on that. But anyways, that's the worst case when you're running at however many miles per hour top speed gymnastics can run, maybe 12, 13 miles an hour, and then hits a springboard and the power goes out and you're spinning around the air looking for whatever you're supposed to bounce off of. Oh, that's crazy. So I hope hope you're okay, Nicole. Now, this guy right here is not okay. This gentleman right here, a 52-year-old Chinese man, was running a marathon. And he was doing very well, actually. Unfortunately, he was disqualified. And when I say disqualified, it was for the weirdest reason. A Chinese man let me figure this right here. A man named as Uncle Chen completed the X-Men marathon in 3 hours and 33 minutes, but was disqualified for violating one of the race's rules against smoking on the course. The statement posted, in a statement, that did not sound good. In a statement, the X-Men, when I say X-Men, XAIAM marathon confirmed that the participant violated an article of the rules and regulations which prohibits open defecation, smoking, trampling on flower beds or green spaces. The Chinese Athletic Association implemented an anti-smoking regulation last year to encourage healthy participants in the race. Uncle Chen, now 52, gained internet fame 2 years ago after a photo and video showed him running a race with a cigarette in his mouth. In 2022, he placed 574 out of 1,500 runners. He finished the race in 3 hours and 28 minutes, 5 minutes faster than his recent attempt. So what they're saying is this guy got disqualified because he was smoking while he was running the marathon. Now, believe me, 1 and 2 don't go in hand. You always make fun of people, like I'm from Florida, so you always make fun of people going to the beach and smoking on the beach. Hey, what's the race for? Race for lung cancer or skin cancer? Lung cancer or skin cancer? But he said in an interview, he said that the smoking helps his body from being fatigued. He was getting something, I don't know what, from the nicotine and from smoking, or maybe just to keep his mind off that he was running for fucking 3 hours and 33 minutes. For the most part, I mean, I can't do anything for that long. Well, I could do this for a while, but anyways. So yeah, he was disqualified, which is, defecating, trampling flowers, running on greeny spots, and smoking. That's the top 3. You can do everything else. You can do illegal drugs and all that. Those are the top 4 things that really get him upset. Now, something that just in a surprising late night television shakeup, Paramount and Comedy Central have announced that Jon Stewart, who hosted The Daily Show for 16 years, will return to host the once weekly television shakeup. Paramount and Comedy Central have announced that Jon Stewart, who hosted The Daily Show for 16 years, will return as host to the once weekly show through 2024 election and into November 2025. The news follows the exit of Trevor Noah, Stewart's successor as the Daily Show host in 2022. Oh, we already knew that. In 2022, a year of rotating guests did not end up choosing a new full-time face in the series, despite Roy Wood Jr., and a bunch of other people that didn't make it. So, I mean, if you got a good thing and he leaves, I mean, you ever had that one job, your company's nothing without me? Well, technically, Jon Stewart left, and they couldn't really. Trevor Noah did well for what it was. He didn't pull in the numbers that Jon Stewart was getting, but nonetheless, he was pulling in numbers. So Jon Stewart's coming back. I wonder how much that contract is, because if you're like going, hey, man, you want me back? You're going to pay out your nose. And I like Jon Stewart because he goes on both sides of the party. He's pretty fair for the most part. But I like to hear negative stuff about the people that you like and the positive stuff about the people that you don't like, that type of stuff. So I like to hear that and make my own decisions. All right, when we come back, people right now are having less sex. If you're under the age of 50, you're having less sex, and it's all because of the Supreme Court. So stick around. We'll dive into that story when we come back. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Make sure you follow us on all your social contacts, and where you do that is go over to Prophet Radio, proud sponsors of Deacon Live, and numerous other podcasts that are broadcast out of the Prophet Radio studio here. Go to Prophet Radio, PROPHET radio.com. At the top of the page says free swag. We'll get you some free swag over there. Pick out whatever prize pack you like, and we'll mail it out to you as soon as we can, if I can get over this cold. So bear with me. I know if you've gotten this far, it's only probably going to get worse from here. So stick around. Let's watch this whole train come off the rails here. Now, there's a comedian out there. I've seen some of her work. I don't know like what her style is. Whether she's like she's a female. Her name's Natasha. Let me see. We're here. What's her name? Natasha Leggero. Leggero. And I'm going to pop this up here so you can see it in real time. And don't forget, for every podcast, we do have a matching video, and you can see this in real time as we're talking about it here. There she is right there. You've seen her before, never knew her name, but now she's making her a name for herself by doing this right here. She appeared at the Improv in New York City, and Bert Kreischer, the Machine. God, what a played out guy that is. I guess there's a bunch of frat boys who like watching dad jokes all the time. I guess I'm not a big fan of them, but who am I to say? A lot of people aren't a fan of me, but that's okay. I'm not made for everybody. Some people are made for everyone. But Natasha, she's being introduced by Bert Kreischer, and gets up on stage, right up on stage, and whips her top off. So I'm going to switch to camera 4, and don't forget, make sure you watch this over on YouTube as we're talking about it here as well. Make sure you subscribe over there. It's not a money grab. I'm not in it to make money over on YouTube. It takes too much work to go over there and, try to monetize everything. This is just gives you another media for you to enjoy the Deacon Live show. So here we go. This is one reason why you sign up for or subscribe to Deacon Live podcast. So here you go. Oh, we got to turn this.
Comedian Natasha Leggero stunned the audience at one of her shows.
Hold on there, fuck nuts. Here we go.
Comedian Natasha Leggero stunned the audience at one of her shows by coming on stage, taking her top off, and doing the whole set topless.
There she goes. She takes her top off.
Is it legal?
This show is in Hollywood, right? This is at the Hollywood Improv?
Hollywood Improv.
In New York, you can go topless. Yeah. Totally legal.
Oh, right, they freed the nipple.
Free the nipple.
Right.
So could she get in trouble?
I mean, technically, I suppose they could call it indecent exposure.
No, those were pretty decent, though.
Oh, what a great legal defense.
That is. It's a complete defense to indecent exposure when they're decent.
Double decent.
Anyway, so she gets up on stage. She whips off her top. She's got overalls on. And all right, let's switch back to camera. Me right here. Actually, I'll leave that up there for you. She whips her top off. She's got overalls on. So she takes her overalls off, like unbutton them down. She's got a white t-shirt, whips it off. And then, everyone's like, yeah. Oh my God, boobs. boobs. And then she puts on like this big fur coat, and they didn't have problems with the fur coat. They have problems with her tits hanging out, but not the fur coat. Where's PETA when you need them? Oh, well, pick your battles, I guess. So there she goes right there. All right. And now, speaking of picking your battles, a nude artist sues the Museum of Modern Art for failing to stop groping visitors. John Bonafed was part of the Marina Abramovic. Movic. It's the cold that's getting me down. Exhibition at the New York Art Institute in 2010. The new artist was performing in the New York Museum of Modern Art, or the MoMA, M-O-M-A, is suing them for allegedly stopping visitors from groping him. Oh, now it's going to make me fucking sign up. I already have the fucking thing. I already got the article. Hold on. Behind the scenes. So, John Bonafed, who took part in the exhibition in 2010 called The Artist is Present, is the name of the exhibit that he was doing, was accused MoMA, M-O-M-A, for failing to prevent sexual assaults against him by the museum goers. The lawsuit claims that the museum had actual knowledge of ongoing sexual assaults against him, of its work performers. Oh, God. Fucking cold, killing me. In the lawsuit, he claims that the museum had actual knowledge of the ongoing sexual assaults against him, against many of his co-workers or work performers in the exhibition, including myself, he says, yet it intentionally neglected to fail to take corrective action and to prevent the assaults from reoccurring. Mr. Bonafed, a professional artist, worked and performed live in the exhibition for the full duration of its run. One piece he took part in involved standing face to face with another exhibitioner performer in a doorway, silent, still, completely nude, 18 inches apart. Court papers state the members and members of the public were encouraged to pass between them from one gallery to the next. All right, Mr. Bonafed. The lawsuit claims that he was sexually assaulted on 7 occasions and during his work for the exhibition by 5 different visitors. Bonafed, who was seeking unspecific damages in a jury trial, claimed that the assaults were eerily similar, with alleged perpetrators always an older male. They would turn to him and fondle or grope his genitals, he claimed. The perpetrators would then linger for a moment before moving to the next gallery. So he's sitting there and he's going, all right, how do we fix this? How do we go with this here? So he said, him and another artist, I don't know, male or female, whatever, are standing 18 inches apart. And they're asking people to go through them to get to the next room. Now, does that make you feeling, I wouldn't go in the next room. Or I'd just go, oh, excuse me, pardon me. You know, like head down, excuse me, pardon me. Don't make eye contact. Just go through. Sorry, pardon me. Lo siento. And you go through the next part. But then there's some people, juveniles, actually he said that they're older men, gay men probably, going, hey, I like you, Mr. Bonafide. Would you like to bonafide in me? You know, you get weird people, especially the art culture community. You get some weird people. Was there a sign saying, don't touch my genitals, don't touch my junk? You know, maybe there wasn't. Maybe it says, you know, like the Mona Lisa, they put it behind glass. You know, don't touch the art, don't touch the pictures, don't do this, don't cross this line, don't do this. But he was asking them to cross in front of him. So hey, these people are touching my junk. You know, art, the art, oh, it was in New York, right? Hey, these motherfucking Vangulis are touching my penis. It's okay, go with it. It's bringing in a great crowd. We're getting lots of money for this. And then what happens, you know? Now, what happens now is that 1 out of 10 single people under the age of 50 say that they're having less sex because of the U.S. Supreme Court that overturned the Roe versus Wade. On Wednesday, Match Group, which operates Tinder, Hinge, and a slew of other matchmaking platforms, released the latest finding from its long-running Singles in America survey, a snapshot of more than 5,000 single Americans, thoughts and experiences about dating and sex. For the second year in a row, Match has found that the demolition of the national right to abortion has affected how Americans say they date and have sex with each other. Since Roe fell, more than 20 states have signified significantly restricted abortion access. 13% of singles under the age of 50 are now more afraid of getting pregnant or getting someone else pregnant, including 21% of Gen Z singles between the ages of 18 and 26. 12% of singles under the age of 50 said that Roe's demise has made them more hesitant to date, while 11% said that casual sex is less frequently, and the same number reported having less sex overall. 7% said that they are more likely to have sex in other ways to lower the risk of pregnancy, such as non-penetrative sex. So what they're saying is they've taken Roe versus Wade away. So think about that now. If people are not having sex because they're afraid of getting people pregnant, how shallow or how does that now make you feel about the way Americans approach having sex? Now, I'm not a political person. I'm not going to stand on this soapbox and say that I know every ins and outs of the laws or anything. But think about it. When you had Roe versus Wade, you had the protection of Roe versus Wade, men and women. And now you don't have, and I say protection, where a woman can do what she wants with her body. If, whatever the case may be. I'm not going to get into the details here. I'm not going to sit here and scrap with you and go around in circles. But Roe versus Wade actually let women take, pride and control of their body. Now that that's gone, maybe more women are thinking about other things rather than having sex. Maybe they're thinking about actually putting, work into a relationship. Maybe they're thinking about, doing a little bit more than just have sex. I mean, we as humans, that's what we do. We like to procreate. It feels good. It's very uplifting if you ever had sex before, for all you virgins out there. But it's now in the back of especially women's minds because it deals with a lot more than us men. And I will say that. But there is a cry out saying, hey, look, I can't just run down the store and get an abortion now, or whatever. So I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. Excuse me. I'd like to hear your thoughts on it as I'm dying over here. And the way you do that is go over to profitradio.com and go to the bottom. It says be heard. If you've got a microphone on whatever device you're listening to us on or at, speak right into it. You can be anonymous if you want. We'd love to hear from you as well. When we come back, oh, I had that on there twice. All right, well, I'll figure that out here in a minute. People are upset at Dunkin' Donuts for charging more for something that they have, quote unquote, a disability of. And I'll dive into that story when we come back. So stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. You want something for free? We'll give you something for free, but you got to do something for me. Go over to profitradio.com, prophet.com. Make sure you like and subscribe to us over on your social networks. There's a place called Free Swag. You can see all the different podcasts that are broadcast out of this studio as well. Make sure you check those out while you're over there. They've got great programming over there. And also, make sure you like and subscribe to us on YouTube as well. Now, Dunkin' Donuts, those guys, right? Dunkin' Donuts, they've changed their name. They're trying so hard. Oh, I got to pull up all the menus here. They're trying so hard to capture the, what is it? What are they missing? What are they missing? Give me one sec. Something that hit Dunkin' Donuts real hard was the whole keto thing. No one wanted to have pastries. Nobody wanted to have donuts and everything. And now they're just kind of struggling. But when you have places like Starbucks and all the other places, Tim Horton, I guess, is a place where you can get coffee and whatnot. Dunkin' Donuts dropped the donuts part because they're like, no, we're more than donuts. It's we have sandwiches. We have lattes. We have all this stuff. The problem with Dunkin' Donuts, in my opinion, is when I see Dunkin' Donuts, I just think sugary sweet things. I don't see low calorie things. I don't see anything. Now, granted, all the other ones don't have low calorie things, but still, I think a Starbucks double fracca mocha, whatever it is like 1,600 calories. Same thing with Dunkin' Donuts. I think there's a problem with their name. They need to figure out a different name or a different logo that is Dunkin'. Now, Don't get me wrong, their coffee is awesome. When we were up in New York, that's probably where my wife got COVID. We'd stop and we'd get Dunkin' Donuts coffee because it was so good. And it's the water up there. No, it's not the water, but still, Dunkin' Donuts coffee is so good. Lots of cream, lots of sugar, please. But right now, Dunkin' Donuts is being sued in the United States by 10 people who are lactose intolerant and have milk allergies. So Dunkin' Donuts is facing a $5 million class action lawsuit based on the claims that it discriminates against customers with lactose intolerance and milk allergies by charging them extra for non-dairy milk alternatives. A group of 10 people, that's it, just 10 people can get a class action lawsuit, accused the giant coffee maker of charging an additional $50 to $2.15 for non-dairy milk additives to the drinks, according to a filed lawsuit in the District Court of Northern California. Of course, Northern California. I want double mocha, almond base, whatever, soy. Let's see. What else does it say? What else can I make you pull your hair out with? The plaintiffs who suffer from lactose intolerance and milk allergies have ordered coffee-based drinks, tea-based drinks, and other beverages containing non-dairy milk like soy, or oat, coconut, and almond milk from Dunkin' Donuts stores since 2018. This is a medical necessary for a person like the plaintiffs, they forgot a bunch of words in here, like the plaintiffs to avoid consuming drinks that contain milk, the lawsuit states. The plaintiffs will suffer adverse health effects if they ingest milk or milk containing products, including stomach pain, digestive tract inflammation, bloating, bowel irregularities, and vomiting. The lawsuit explains that the company does not charge extra to make caffeine-free drinks. No, they don't. For people with conditions like hypertension, additionally, it removes sugar or uses sugar-free alternatives. Oh, here we go again. Hold on. With no extra cost for customers with diabetes. No, that's not true. Some people just don't want sugar. It's not the fact that they have diabetes. Some people just don't want that sugar. Have you seen the reports of what sugar does to your body? You know, diabetes is secondary. If you have diabetes, you're treating yourself somewhere else down the line. Dunkin' Donuts is not the problem that you have diabetes. The lawsuit states defendants surcharge the same for all non-dairy alternatives, making no distinction among the costs and the various difference of non-dairy alternatives. In fact, Dunkin' created a separate higher price menu aimed at customers who cannot ingest milk. It continued that the lactose intolerant and allergies are both considered disabilities, and the extra cost levied by Dunkin' Donuts violates the American Disabilities Act. Okay, this is where I go. Let's see. Let's read this out. Because you have if you're lactose intolerant, you do not have a disability. Being lactose intolerant does not prevent you from working, does not prevent you from being mobile, does not prevent you from doing the normal stuff that 99% of the whole United States is doing right now. What it does is it limits your food choices. So, for example, I am a vegan. I'm just saying it. Let's say I'm a vegan, right? And I go into a steakhouse. Yes, they do have non-vegan or vegan type dishes. That's fine. But I don't go to a steakhouse and expect the best quality of vegan food. It's going to be a little bit more extra. It's going to be because that's not what they do. Now, granted, the milk thing, so they charge a little bit for a milk alternative, then you might need to pick a different store. You 10 people that can't figure this out, you know, you might love Dunkin' Donuts. Bring your own almond. Bring your own little squirt, little Mio. That's what Mio should do. Here's a newsflash for you. Mio, if you're listening to us, get the non-dairy Mio squirt for these bitches' coffee. You know what I mean? Squirt, squirt, squirt. Thank you very much. I'm out the door. And you've made $1 million. Maybe you should team up with Dunkin' Donuts and do something like that. Are they wrong for suing them for $5 million, these 10 people? And they're only going to get maybe $200,000 each by the time they do the attorney's fee and stuff. We'd love to hear from you. Go over to profitradio.com. At the bottom of the page, it says be heard. Do you think they're right for suing for charging more for non-dairy creamer? You're getting coffee. I would go let's change my drink up. Let's change something else. Now I have to have my coffee. As my throat dies on us as we get towards the end of the show here. I know. I apologize, but thanks for bearing with me. Now, I got that one. Now, there's a TikTok video going around about this girl. She bought a McFlurry. Speaking of non-dairy stuff, she bought a McFlurry from, where do they make McFlurries? Oh, McDonald's. Oops. And it's getting a whole lot of flack as far as what was in her McFlurry. So she gets it home and she pulls out the straw. You know, it's spoon spinner straw type deal. She pulls it out and this thing comes out with it. And everyone, and let me play the video. So if you want to see this, make sure you're subscribing to us over on YouTube as well. And you can see this in real time as we're talking about it here. I'll switch the camera forward, make it a little bigger so everyone can see it. You tell me what you think this is right here. So this girl gets her McFlurry and she pulls this out of the McFlurry. I'm going to turn this up so we can all hear it. So here you go. She pulls it out. It's this big, long, it's covered in McFlurry juice, so I can't tell what it is. You can hear it a little bit. Hold on.
Gloves.
She says, I think it's gloves. So they're laughing.
I'm gonna pee.
They're sitting at the table. Should we sue? Yeah. Should we sue? Yeah. So there you go. So what happened was, let me go back to me now. When you do the McFlurry, when the actual ice cream machine is working, you've got this big sack. It's like a 2-pound or 5-pound, 10-pound sack of something of the mix. And they cut the end and they squeeze the whole thing in there. Someone just got lazy and threw the whole thing, the whole bag and everything in the McFlurry machine. So if you see that and people aren't going, oh, no, it happens all the time. People aren't paying attention. People aren't doing the jobs over at McDonald's, but they want $22 an hour because that's what they do. But someone left the bag in the McFlurry machine, in the ice cream machine, and that's where it ended up in her thing. The weird part is when you do the McFlurry and that bag comes out, didn't they have a problem like when it dispenses the ice cream? That's where I don't understand. But that's what you see over there on your TikTok videos. Now, this family right here, a couple delivers their baby in a parking lot of a McDonald's and gives the baby the sweetest nickname. A Wisconsin's mom, Annalisa Beck, uses used to shudder when she reads stories about babies being born in unusual places. It was my worst nightmare. Annalisa, 25 years old, she said giving birth in a McDonald's parking lot. She's still shocked. So it was pretty intense. Daniel, I guess the husband, boyfriend, doesn't say, 27. Around 11 p.m. on January 11th, Annalisa, I'm going to say that, who was 38 weeks along in her pregnancy, started experiencing mild contraction. Initially, she just brushed them off as Braxton Hicks, also known as false labor. Annalisa went back to sleep and then was jolted awake by a painful contraction. Moments later, her water broke. It was go time, she said. The couple were out the door, and as soon as Annalisa's mother arrived to look over their other children, Jace, 3 years old, Briella, 17 months, Annalisa joked that she would never see Daniel. She's never seen Daniel drive so fast. Well, we were in the car for 2 minutes, and I was like, Daniel, you have to pull over. I feel like I'm sitting on the baby's head. At that point, I knew that the baby was coming, and we weren't going anywhere, she said. Daniel pulled over in a McDonald's parking lot and called 911 while Annalisa climbed into the back seat of their SUVs. At this point, it was 3:55 a.m., and it was snowing hard. She pushed 3 times, and he came out. Boom, just like that. Well, when you have 2 kids, I guess the third one's just as easy, right? The paramedic barely made it, but they were there to catch him. So he's like, I'm here. Whoa, fastball. Got it. High and outside. The first thing Annalisa noticed that the newborn was blue. I think it was because how cold it was. The snow was blowing into the car and it got on his face, she added. Luckily, he was totally healthy and everything was fine. He passed all his tests at the hospital. Annalisa and Daniel chose a name, Micah, for their 8-pound, 6-ounce bundle of joy, but they've been calling him the Little McFlurry. After the fast food chain's famous ice cream dessert, between the Blizzard and McDonald's, we were thinking it was very fitting, she says. So there you go, Little McFlurry. All right, guys, when we come back, one more little segment, and we'll get you back. We'll let you get back to enjoying the rest of your day. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back, hopefully. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Make sure you go over to prophetradio.com, proud sponsors of Deacon Live. That's PROPHET radio.com. Make sure you get yourself some free swag over there. Make sure if you would like to be part of the show, you can be podcast famous. Click on whatever device you have that's got a microphone tied into it. You can be anonymous, speak right into it, and you can be part of this podcast or the very next podcast as well. And make sure you like and subscribe to us over on YouTube. We're available on TikTok as well. You can see all the different little 1-minute short videos that we do here on Deacon Live. Now, if you're looking for a job, there's a couple of openings at a IT company, and I say that, very tongue-in-cheek. But what happened is a Chicago area tech CEO was killed last week as the company's president was seriously injured when an elaborate entrance to a party involving a steel cage went wrong. Sanja Saya, 56, founder of the software company Vistex, was killed when he fell 15 feet after being suspended in the air in a metal cage with his company's president, Raju Datla, 52 years old. The accident happened in India, where the two were descending in a specially designed cage with pyrotechnics going off. One of the chains supporting the structure broke, pinching the men to the stage below. Oh, Jesus Christ. The accident posted on social media by some of those at the event. Datla is critically injured and has a severe head injury. Vistec has 20 global offices and more than 2,000 employees as well. So I bring this up because you hear about all these different people. All these billionaires are flying into space and they're doing this and doing that. Am I wrong? I've never seen Elon Musk do any of his own stunts. You know what I mean? You got Jim Bezos up there. He's bouncing up and down with that penis rocket. He could have exploded at any time. You've got Richard Branson. He's flying around in that zero gravity, vomit comet. He's flying around in that. I don't see Elon Musk, doing any of that stuff. So is that smart on his point? If you're a CEO and you've got all this stuff, don't do anything stupid like that. Stand on the stage, talk to your people, have, Cirque du Soleil going on behind you. That would impress me more. And even like those people that do like the pyramid schemes, what was it, Montevideo for a while? They're like, look at our cars, look at all this stuff. And then I'm in a rocket ship and I can fly around the room and do, that's bullshit. Don't put yourself in those situations. If you're that valuable and you've got so many people relying on you, don't put yourself in those type of situations. And look what happens. He was in a steel cage. The steel cage fell down on him. Boom, he's dead. And now the president, maybe it was an inside job. Maybe they're trying to get rid of him so they can move on with their careers or move on with something that they were trying to get done. And it might have been an inside job. Who's to say? Now, as I said at the beginning of the show, we just got back from New York, actually Long Island. We flew out of LaGuardia into Charlotte Douglas. Flying there was like an hour and a half. Flying back was, for whatever reason, was 2.5 hours. I guess we caught that storm that was going up there earlier last week. And we kind of, picked out our own seats. We paid a little bit more money for them. I say a little bit more money. Believe me, it was $60. Hold on, let me switch cameras here so we can see me. It was $65 for the both of us round trip. That's how cheap Spirit Airlines. Yeah, that's when I say, they don't care about the clientele that get on those airplanes. As long as you behave and you don't jump around or knock the plug out of the side of the plane, they don't care. So you got all these nitwits on the plane, and that's probably where we all got sick. You had a nitwit on there. Oh, I'm not contagious. I'm not contagious. Sure enough, fast forward to now, I'm dealing with this. My wife's dealing with that. My dad's laid up in his bedroom. I hope he's okay. We did everything we possibly could to avoid that situation. We kind of quarantined ourselves from each other. Unfortunately, that we have a kitchen area that's a common area, and we have a cat. And a cat has long fur, and the long fur traps a whole lot of stuff. So the cat goes to my wife. She pets the cat. Cat comes to me. I pet the cat. Cat goes to my dad. Dad pets the cat. She's a super spreader. That's what it is. My cat, Trisket, is a super spreader. That's the only reason why we can come up with right now. I know I kind of fumbled over that, but yes, that's exactly what we're determining because we did everything we were supposed to do. And this couple right here is trying to do everything they can do to get free seats. A couple demanded that a child get a free upgrade to first class, delaying a plane for hours. Then the worst happened. So I'm going to switch to camera 4 so we can see this in real time as we're talking about it here on the air. So here we go. This entitled traveler thought that first class was a buy two, get one free. A plane in China was delayed for 3 hours, eventually canceling last month after an irate couple demanded that their child be upgraded to first class for free. According to the passenger, the ruckus kicked off at 11 a.m. on December 30th after an unsupervised boy began sobbing in the seat right next to him on the flight from Chengdu to Beijing. As it turned out, the inconsolable child, his parents were seated up in first class and only had bought the youngster an economy ticket. That's when the boy's unnamed dad confronted the staff, demanding that the son be moved to first class with no extra charge. So let's see this video here. Oh, you fuck. So let's see what happens with this video. An ad popped up. That's why I was cussing. I don't care. Is it just going to be the tiki-taka thing? Okay, never mind. No, it's not going to give me anything. All right, so let's find out what happened. His rationale that he has already paid for 2 first-class tickets, therefore he should get the third one for free. In a clip shot by a fellow passenger named Zohan, incensed dad had been berating a group of passengers, crew members, and security guards as they repeatedly explained that the child isn't entitled to an upgrade. Stop swearing at me. I want to see this. I want to see the video. Where's the fucking video? I want to see the video. Let's see. Oh, it's probably all in Chinese anyways. Stop swearing at me, Fern the father. You have no right to do that. When the security guard attempts to de-escalate the situation, the parent lays into him, shouting, "What gives you the right to order me about?" This prompts a woman to retort, "You're wasting too much of our time and we won't be able to tolerate you any much longer." Police finally arrive and escorted the angry passenger off the plane around 2 p.m. 3 hours later, the rumpus initially began. Unfortunately, everyone else, the flight was eventually canceled, forcing about 300 passengers to rebook their flight. I would take the kid, punch him in the head, take the dad, string him up, and put him outside the plane. Now, let's switch the cameras right here. Along the same sense of what to do and what not to do on an airplane. An airline passenger who prompted the Spanish Air Force to scramble jets after he said he was going to, quote unquote, blow up the plane he was on appeared Monday in court. Aditya Verman was 18 when he and his friends traveled with EastJet from London to Spanish island of Menorca. I learned that word last week. In July 2022. The BBC reports that before departing, he told his friends on Snapchat, "I'm on my way to blow up the plane, yo. I'm a member of Taliban." Security services saw this message and flagged it to the Spanish authorities, who sent 2 F-18 jets to follow the airline until it landed. The intention was never to cause any public distress or to cause public harm, he said. Right. He faced a public disorderly charge, which could result in him paying over $120,000 if found guilty. About $103,000 of that is for the Spanish Defense Ministry for the cost of scrambling the fighter jets. According to the Telegraph, Verma told the court he first thought the jets were flanking the plane as part of a military exercise related to the Russian-Ukraine war. But because he said, "I'm going to go blow up this plane," and here's a picture I'm going to switch. Can you see this right here? I'm gonna switch. There you go. Look how close that F-18 jet is to the wing of the EasyJet plane flying out of British Columbia. Not British Columbia. Over in the UK. Jesus Christ. Can you imagine looking out your window? Hi. Like Maverick and Goose. Hi. All right, guys. My voice can't take it anymore. And I'm sure you're probably tired of listening to me, but we appreciate you helping me get through this episode. So stick around. Oh, stick around. On that note, oh, God. All right, guys, make sure you follow us on YouTube. Make sure you like and subscribe over there. Make sure you follow us on all your social contacts. Make sure you watch us on TikTok. Make sure you join us on Facebook. You can see all the different stuff that links us to you and you to us as well. We'd love to hear from you. You can be podcast famous. Just go over to profitradio.com and click Be Heard. You can be anonymous as well. All right, guys, on that note, I'm going to let you get back to doing what you got to do. Hopefully, I'll be better by next week. My name is Deacon, saying good night and good night.
Wait, come back.
This is the end. The absolute end.
Écoute-moi.